Hey guys, so some parts arrived today and it's pretty awesome. I'm excited. These are brake parts and the box is very heavy. Ugh. I got them from SoCal Imports. SoCal, I haven't used them much before. I used Bus Depot and Wilsburg West and a lot of other companies, but SoCal, shout out to you guys. We'll see how these go. I think they're gonna be great. So I always take out the little thing first. We're sitting in the bus, by the way, in case you can't tell. Got a little parts list on here. So brake kit, brake master cylinder, wheel cylinders, like all around for all the wheels. I think it comes with like a little brake hose that goes between the upper and lower slave cylinders on a couple of the wheels. But anyway, you don't want to hear me read it. Let's look. So SoCal brake kit, and actually, if you're interested, SoCal brake kit. I don't know where the code number is on here, but there is a brake kit on here that is pretty affordable, and so that's what I went for. Sorry, I was going to read you the number. I don't know what it is. Let's look though. Pretty psyched. I'm pretty psyched. Okay, foam peanuts. Not exciting. These are going in the bus for right now. One thing at a time. All right, so that's got to be a a slave cylinder. So on a car with drum brakes, there's a little, there you go. I'll bring it closer for you guys. Yeah, so there you go. Pretty heavy. They're like solid steel, basically. So when you push the brake pedal, it squishes the fluid through the brake lines, and then it ends up at this thing. And then this thing has a little arm that, like, when the fluid hits it and you're pushing, it pushes the arms out. And then that pushes the brake pad against the brake drum. And I'll move over there and show you in a minute. All right, so there's one of those. I got to keep this stuff together so it's not all messed up. There's way more than one of those. There's a ton of them. So there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There should be 6 in here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, you can't see back there. 6. So there they are. There's 2 that are going to be, or there's 2 in the front, and there's 4 in the back. And so there's just a couple that need 2 and a couple that need 1. All right, let's see what's next in the box. It's so exciting. I just love the feeling, the smell of new stuff. Can't smell it on the video. But oh, there's the opening on the end there. So I didn't get the German stuff. I don't know if you're a purist, you might be really mad at me for that. And now I'm kind of wondering, like, should I have got the other kit? Because, you know, a couple $100 at the beginning of the project might make a difference. So that is the master cylinder. All right, so I'll get it closer. Master cylinder right there. This is where the reservoir fits in. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I'll just take that out of the plastic. Yeah. So when you mash on the brake, you get you push on a rod that goes through here, and it pushes. It takes the fluid that will sit in this. There's a little container, little plastic container that sits right here, and then it squishes the fluid through these 4 holes to each of the brake lines. All right, and then to each of the wheels. Now, a newer version of this would have a dual piston system, to where if something were to fail totally, you would lose like just the front brakes or just the back brakes. But this is a traditional 1 piston system. So if something breaks in here, you're going to lose all that brake. So, but that's why I'm doing new lines all across the bus. All right. And in theory, why you have an emergency brake. All right. Okay, so here's brake hose kits. And there's a section on each of the different wheels where a brake hose has to go, where most of the lines are that solid brake line that you just have to bend with like a little, there's a little jig sort of thing that you just bend the metal. You can't bend it too sharply or it'll break it. But there's a couple of places on the bus that need flex hose like that. So that's part of the kit. All right. Don't want to get a bunch of crap in those lines. So there's a few more of those that go in different spots on the bus. All right, what else is in here? Can hardly wait. I don't know what this is. It's probably hardware. Actually, it's probably hardware. Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's just a whole bag of like springs and all this stuff. So all these springs go in different places on the bus. They hold brake shoes against the brake housing, or they make sure that the brake shoes like are held together until you push the brakes, stuff like that. So there you go, big bag of them everywhere. Again, this is the whole kit, guys, whole kit. Okay, actually, there's another one of those. So that was probably the kit for just the front. And then, oh, these are just the larger springs. I don't remember where those go, but there's a close-up. Larger springs. I don't remember if they go in the front or back because I'm new to this year bus, but in this style bus. But those hold the brake shoes back together until you hit the brakes, and then the brake shoes go out and stop your car. And the last two things in here, guys, are the shoes themselves. All right, so big, heavy chunk of stuff here. There's the giant shoes for either the front or the back, because most new cars, modern cars, for many years, for decades, have had disc brakes on the front. In fact, the Volkswagen bus got disc brakes in 1971. And this is a 65. So since the 70s, those drum brakes have been gone basically, but there's some more from there. All right, so we got front, we got back, and we have, yeah, so we got the drums. I'm gonna take out all those foam peanuts. I mean, not drums, but we got brake shoes that go inside the drum, and we have the master cylinder. We've got the brake hoses. All right, just a couple of them. And then we have a whole set of all of the slave cylinders that go in each of the wheels. And then we have some of these. We have some of these hardware kits too. All the new springs and stuff like that, because, you know, there's no point doing that whole job and not having the right springs. So this is like the complete kit. It is still really cold here in Kentucky, but hey, working anyway, and it's not too bad in the garage right now, so I'm just wearing a hoodie. But I didn't take off any of the wheels to show you the actual brakes, but we did that in another video. But I really wanted to show you what was in the box. I was curious myself, and I'm pretty excited. So that's going to be next step. There's always sanding. You're going to hear me keep saying that. There's always sanding to do. And there will always be body work, you know, until we're done with that. But brakes first, stop before you can go. That's where we're starting. The only thing I don't have are the brake lines, and so I'm going to order brake lines, and those are just a giant metal tube that's a very specific size, and you get these little grommets where the brake tube or the brake lines go through the frame and stuff like that. So basically it's kind of what this does, but it's a solid piece of metal, and they just go long distances on the bus. And so I got to get that next. Haven't got that yet because I'm not sure what I'm going to do underneath the bus, because there's brake lines underneath there, and I think I need to sand and coat that stuff first. And then there's no point in like putting new brake lines and then like trying to sand around them and stuff. So I've got to do that part. But I'll probably order the brake lines just to have them and make sure everything, you know, is fitting together, and I got all the pieces, so when I get a chance to do the work, they're ready to go. Anyway, SoCal, thank you guys. Kit looks good. Everything's in here. It was actually, it was like $244 at the time of this. This is 2026, so I thought that was pretty affordable. Again, they're not the German ones, but I think they're going to be fine, and so I'm looking forward to getting this stuff on the bus. hope you enjoyed seeing what was in the box. And thanks for all the likes and subscribes and comments and stuff, and for joining me on the journey. Kind of feels like our bus, like we're working on it together. Got some great name ideas too that you guys have been handing through, so that's awesome. We'll keep going with that. We got a whole bunch of different names. We've got Beatrice the bus. We've got Pat for like patina, or patina because it's got some patina on the outside. We got Chester. Shout out to Chet there. So we got some great names, and still thinking about what's the right one, and what's going to be the best fit here. So anyway, brake kit has arrived. It's awesome. Thank you guys for your support, and see you soon.